The coronavirus crisis has brought a lot of different challenges around the world. Specifically in Colombia, we are facing those challenges right now, right? But those challenges are really diverse because we can talk about challenge in let's say an economic crisis, the unemployment, in the case of Colombia, the the informal work, the hunger, things like that, right? So those changes together with the inequity that we have in Colombia make this problem even bigger, right? And I mean, right now we are in an early stage to predict those consequences or the thing that is gonna happen after the coronavirus and everything. But there are some people that have done that, like they have some ideas, some statements about the possible consequences after the coronavirus, right? So they talk about the interaction between people. They talk about a recession. They talk about the change of the consumption and things like that, right? So the first like idea that I want to present to you is the 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 change that might happen in the relationships, right? So actually the social relationships might change in the future. And what I mean with that because all the interaction that we are having right now are online, on platforms, on apps, on systems, things like that, it is possible that in the future the people prefer to continue with those interactions rather than the traditional interactions that are face to face, because all of this thing about the pandemic, right? About be exposed to a virus or something like that, right? Besides of that, there are let's say that there is another thing, an additional thing, that is that some rituals that we have will disappear. For example, I mean, we have rituals as kissing in the cheek, shake hands, hugs, and all of those rituals include physical contact, and we try to avoid that. So in the near future, we might prefer to be distant for each other than actually to hug people, to shake hands and everything like that, right? So in my personal opinion, I think that the rituals that we have right now are going to disappear in the future. After the coronavirus, I think that they will disappear. Another consequence that is really important and that will happen after the coronavirus is that we will have recession caused for many factors, right? But for specifically for the companies that are not working, that closed, the people that cannot work because of the quarantine, because the people that have their business doesn't have much incomes and everything, so that will mean that the economy is stopped, right? And that will affect directly to the people, causing that the bridge between poor people and wealthy people is gonna be wider, bigger, right? Another consequence that we can see, I mean, we can predict in the future is that the unemployment will make that the consumption change. And in what way? In the way that because the people doesn't have much like a lot of incomes, a lot of money, they are going to change their consumption. They are going to buy things that they need instead of things that they want, right? So the products that are basic need, there will be like the people will buy those products, but those products that are not basic need, for example, like electronics, computers, cell phones, things like that, are going to have reduce the sales of those products will decrease, right? So the companies that offer those products will have two options, or either way they reinvent themselves in order to offer those kind of products that the people actually need, or they will die, right? Let's say that finally, I think that the coronavirus is just the beginning of a long crisis that will take about 2-3 years maybe, and that crisis will demand that we work as a team, we work together, and that we have gestures of solidarity with our own people,